Okay, yeah, we're live.
I will give it the title. You gave it the title?
Yeah, the the title of this lesson is called "Vocab and Friends: The Aftermath." You know, if you brothers were watching the live feed, you saw Vocab and his buddies came down, and they were basically dealing with us at the camp. And all I could say is after the smoke cleared, the edification was coming out, and it is what it is. From this point, it is what it is.
Yeah, the bottom line was when they rolled up, he was on the comment board saying he wanted to have an interview and whatnot. And then I'm looking down the street and I see these guys wearing all black. And the guy gets closer. They said that guy looked like Vocab. And sure enough, it was Vocab. And I got mad because the way they rolled up, they didn't say, well, we are in town and we would like to, you know, meet y'all. They just kind of rolled up, which I thought was rude.
Hmm.
So I basically said, look, man, we're going to ignore them, right? But it was hard to ignore them because they were throwing out certain things, and I would kind of answer their question and go back to ignoring them.
Hmm.
And then eventually, after about, a good, I don't know, half an hour or so, it kind of calmed down. But it became like a shouting match.
Yeah.
Then it kind of calmed down a little bit more, and it was about how well do you know the scriptures? Because a lot of times you think of a scripture you don't know it by heart, so they would bring out a certain scripture. So they would say something, and I said, wait a minute, get that scripture, and they would kind of get a little nervous, like, oh no, they got me.
Right.
But then we would say something, then they would bring out a particular scripture, and we'd be saying what scripture they're going to bring out. So it was like a back and forth, and I'm exhausted, man. I'm exhausted, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to eat. I want to drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to eat. I want to drink. Drink a gallon of water and I want to chill out. I'm not even hungry, man.
We're defenders of the gospel.
Defending the gospel. And that was in our spirit, defending this gospel, man.
Oh yeah.
So Vocab threw out a lot of things, and we answered certain things, but he didn't like the answers. And basically, when you come into this truth, you got to have experience, and that's what's so great about. I see why the Most High said, through the foolishness of teaching, preaching, and he said on the highways and the byways, because you never know what you're going to encounter. You never know who's going to roll up on you, man.
That's right. Yep.
And sure enough, Vocab and his crew, he rolled up. They had about 5 cameras going to record everything. And basically, he's that's called ambush journalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
exactly what that's called, ambush
Absolutely.
journalism. And he'll ambush you and ask you questions. You know how you come out of you get arrested for something,
Uh-huh.
and you come out of the court, and they got the cameras. So what, did you really do that? Did you really kill? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what he does. And basically, the way he threw the questions at us, we kind of said, well, let's use the same weapon that he's using on us.
Right.
Let's throw questions on him.
Right.
And after a while, you gotta stop, and you gotta listen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I believe, hey, after getting with Vocab, I was pissed the fuck off, man. I said, what the fuck you doing,
Yeah.
But then, after a while, we got history with him, because we go back, what, 2016, 2015?
Something like
We're
that.
talking
Yeah.
about 3 years,
Yeah.
almost 4 years. So we kind of know this guy. So this is the first time we ran into him.
Right.
And part of me believed that he's set up by some group, but another part believes that he's sincere,
Right.
that he really wants to know the scriptures. So I don't know, whether I'm right on the fact that he was set up and he's just acting, or both. It's just like we spoke about this movie, Donnie Brasco, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now Donnie Brasco, he got deep into the mob,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what happened? He kind of started becoming a mobster.
Right.
He started liking them guys and loving them. He loved a particular guy. What was his name?
Lefty.
Lefty.
But that was in the movie. But in
That was-
real life, it was Sonny.
Okay,
Sonny
well,
was close. to.
he loved Sonny.
Yeah, in the real
But
life.
he was questioning his belief and what side is he on.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens a lot of times because when you come into certain groups, you see that these people are sincere, man. Vocab and the guys that were with him, I don't know all their names, they saw that we were sincere.
Yep.
They said these guys are really about defending the gospel.
That's right.
Because even at the end, I said, we ain't going to dap you, we ain't going to hug you. But they forced their self on us, man. They give us daps and kind of hug us and everything.
Yeah.
All of them did that, man.
Almost like they wanted our blessing.
Almost saying, well, Vocab did say shalom to us, man.
Yeah, the other guy, the bald head guy,
Exactly.
I don't know his name, but, calling him the bald head guy, but he said Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah.
He even said that.
Yeah, you can see he came
Yeah,
off
Bruce Lee,
Yeah, we call him Bruce Lee.
Because he had the Bruce Lee T-shirt on.
But the thing is, we were we were defending the gospel.
I got that precept.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 14. And many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. Some indeed preach Yahushua even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preached Yahushua of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel.
Read that again, please.
Verse 14, and many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. Some indeed preach Yahushua even of envy and strife.
Now, we don't know where Vocab heart is really at, He kind of comes off as he's sincere, but we don't know that. We don't know that, man.
Time will tell.
We even said that you could be an Israelite. Because who am I to look at somebody and say, you're not an Israelite,
Yeah, time will tell.
Time will tell. Now, whether he's sincere or not, time will tell. Read on.
And some also of goodwill.
And some also of goodwill. Now, maybe some of them or all of them, they came in goodwill. Maybe they came trying to get information.
Yeah. That's right.
Maybe they came just to get us on camera and make videos and say, well, you see what the heart said, which is not being sincere.
Right.
You're not being sincere, man.
Right.
And there's one thing you can't say about us. You can't say that we're not sincere, Vocab.
That's right.
And you kept saying at the end of the thing, I respect you guys, I respect you guys.
He wanted to buy us dinner.
Oh, he even said he wanted to buy us dinner, Which we were going to say no, because we're two different opposing groups, man.
Right. Like going back to the scripture, it says two cannot walk together except they be agreed. So he has his belief and we have our belief.
Yeah, because if we did go to the restaurant, we'll still be arguing.
We will be arguing, yeah.
Because we couldn't help it, man, because of our zeal.
Yeah.
And we wanted to get kicked out of the restaurant.
Exactly.
And he knows that, man.
Yeah.
We're about zeal, man.
Yeah. Passionately.
We're passionate.
We're passionate, yeah.
The scriptures say, those that stood so stiffly, man.
Stiffly, yeah. That's right. That's
We
right.
were actually defending the gospel, man.
And what about all them
Even
chariots?
though it wasn't all that right.
At
Well,
the end.
that was the icing. That was
The icing on the cake.
man.
Yeah.
And when I see the chariots go by, there was about 50 chariots that came by.
Oh, yeah, man.
And you can see them crystal clear
They were chariots, yeah.
that they were chariots. And the brother started praising them. And what I was thinking about, I was saying, well, I hope I defended the gospel well. I hope I wasn't being phony, right?
Yeah.
Because I was after a while, I was somewhat being nice to them. Because
Yeah.
we were asking questions.
Yeah.
And you got to think
Excuse me.
whether these guys really, maybe they just lost. Maybe they sincerely lost.
Yeah. Which they are. They're sincerely
They're
lost.
Sincerely lost.
We said
and
that
they
to the...
think that we're sincerely lost. That's
Right.
why the brother kept asking me the question about what if you find out you were wrong?
Right.
And I said, if I found out I was wrong, I said the only way I can find out I was wrong, I used the account with Paul when the Lord. Matter of fact, you can go to that. The account with the Lord knocking Paul off the horse and blinding him.
Come on.
When did the Apostle Paul would have changed had the Lord never come? No, he would have been out there killing Israelites,
That's right.
so-called Christians. So the Most High had to make a spiritual intervention.
Yeah, dramatic.
So the only way I can believe that Christian stuff, like the brother asked me, is if there's a spiritual intervention.
Right.
Other than that, The reason why we teach what we teach because we believe it by faith.
We believe it by faith.
Give me that with Paul
Got
on
it.
the horse.
Acts chapter 9, verse 1. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogue, that he
Because Paul figured there's what is it, John 15:1 or John
16:1.
John 16:1. Read that real quick.
Con.
And while you're getting it, vocab. So what about Ariel? Ariel went off on that and taught about the connection.
Which
And I said, you're right. And I said if Ariel, if the Most High destroys Ariel is off right now. The Most High destroys him, and that's between him and the Most High.
That's
I
right.
said you got to talk to Ariel on that one, man.
That's right.
And the 12 tribes, whether Judah being a Negro and Benjamin being a West Indian, that's also based upon faith.
Based upon faith.
All right?
But that wasn't good enough for them.
Yeah, we said that. Anything that, well, why do you say? Because it's based upon faith. Just like we believe the scriptures based upon faith.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read that, please. Read on.
St. John 16:1. These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogue.
See the triple
Yea, the time cometh that
Triple
whosoever
four. Yeah,
killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service.
So what was that? When was that fulfilled? When the Apostle Paul was killing people, thinking that he was doing the Most High service. Why? Because Paul believed that he was doing the right thing until the Most High changed him. That's all I want to read. Now go back to Acts.
Con. This is back in the book of Acts, chapter 9, and verse 2. And desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogue, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round
So
about.
what changed Paul? The spiritual intervention.
Con.
And that's what I kept saying to that brother. The only way I can believe in the Quran, in anything, is if the God of the Quran came down and knocked me off a horse and made me blind, and I had no choice but to believe that that was the God of gods. Then I can also believe that, well, that's the devil impersonating the God. At the end of the day, it's all about faith. Paul believed, following the wicked scribes and the Pharisees and the Sanhedrin and so forth, he actually believed that he was doing a righteous thing. So what did that make Paul? That made Paul sincere. He was sincere in what? Wickedness.
Yeah.
He thought he was doing something right in righteousness. Go ahead.
Didn't he say that? He said that because I was found mercy because I did it ignorantly in unbelief. That's what he said.
So Paul really wasn't wicked.
No.
Paul was really righteous,
Yep.
but he was in the wrong. He was sincere, but he was wrong.
Right.
He was sincerely wrong.
Sincerely wrong. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, and as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And he said, Who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahushai, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks.
Yeah.
And he, trembling and astonished, said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? And the Lord said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do.
So he had to believe that was the Lord. He had to believe that was the Messiah. All right. He had to believe that the people that he was sent to gave him the truth. And he had to believe all those times that the Lord came to him and gave him revelation. And all that was based upon belief. Go ahead.
It says, and he, verse 7. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man, but they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias, and he said, Behold, I am here, Lord. And the Lord said unto him, Arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he prayeth, and hath seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight. Then
So all these things were spiritual interventions. And that thing convinced him that this is the truth.
Oh yeah, Apostle Paul. Yeah.
All right.
Who was Saul at that time?
Who was Saul at that time? That's all we got to read on that. You know. You got anything else?
No.
Well, anything in closing?
Yeah.
With dealing with those individuals.
Yeah. All I gotta say was one hell of a battle. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, with that, you know, Lord
Yeah.
get on us. We soon looting the brothers out. We might do a part 2 of this thing.
Come.
Anyway, with that, let me say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.